Welcome to the Band Director Breakfast Show. I'm Jet.
And I'm Steven. This week on the show, we're going to make waffles without milk. Repair tips with Gannon Phillips.
We'll scroll through the Band Director Yellow Board to see what treasures we can find. Marching band advice with Luke McMillan. And we'll give you our tips on using classroom tuners.
It's the Band Director Breakfast Show. We're gonna share with you what we think we know today.
So I turned on the camera, and this thing's happening now, and so this is all on the internet.
Well, not at this moment, though. Well, I guess as they're seeing it at this moment.
Like if they're watching it, it's on the internet.
But right now,
we're not on the internet. We're in the percussion room.
Thank goodness, that'd be embarrassing.
It looks nice though, right?
It's all right.
So this week for breakfast, we're going to be making waffles without milk.
So what do you use?
Water.
That sounds disgusting.
Well, actually, I found a recipe that's pretty good.
What's wrong with milk?
Milk is fine, but sometimes you tell your kids, hey, I'm gonna make you waffles this morning. You open the refrigerator and there's no milk.
You gotta look before you leap sometimes, man.
I know, you've got to find milk before you waffles, except for if you have this recipe, you can make the waffles without milk. And it also uses vanilla extract, sugar, baking powder, the things you'd find in waffle recipes. But you don't need milk and they still come out really nice.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, you don't have to see it because this is evidence of my children giving me a thumbs up signal because they actually like it.
Oh, look at that.
And not because I told them to do that. All right, so here is a repair tip from our friend Gannon Phillips at the Bandwagon Music Store.
Hey everybody, Gannon here with a quick repair tip. This trumpet has a busted brace right here, as you can see. This happens a lot, especially around the lead pipe. People resort to using tape to hold this together in an emergency situation. Not the best option because it leaves a lot of residue behind, sticky residue, and it also damages the finish on the horn, the lacquer. Better idea, use a zip tie. Just a common household zip tie. You put it around the brace, pull it tight, clip off the excess with a pair of wire cutters, and that'll hold it together firmly until you're able to send it off to a repair shop. Thanks guys so much for checking out this tip. Check us out at the Bandwagon Music Store here in Fort Worth, Texas, and we'll see you next time.
So, I understand that you have a post from the Band Director Yellow Board you're going to share with us.
I do. I have it right here. Took it right off the yellow board.
That's why it's yellow, I understand. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so, whoops. I get my glasses on here. The title in the Band Director Yellow Board of this article is Archery Class. Posted by Really? Really says, I've taught for 35 years, so it takes a lot to surprise me.
35 years. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot of years. It's like, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not 35 years old. This guy has been teaching, or girl, longer than I have been alive.
It's pretty embarrassing for you.
I know.
I have a friend who teaches at a 3A school. He found out that the archery team uses the band hall first period each morning. Of course, he has to tear down his setup each day. Just when you think you've heard it all. Smiley face. So...
Archery team in the band hall.
Do they use like real arrows? Like,
I mean, what are you gonna do? Like foam arrows?
I mean, sometimes you get those little, beanbag tips on them or something.
I mean, I've seen that in cartoons. I don't know. Do they beanbag tip arrows? That doesn't seem like a thing. What about?
Know.
I mean, I guess I don't think our band hall would be long enough for an archery class.
I mean, it depends on how good they are.
Oh, no, wait. But if they're not using, like if they miss, because the times I've done archery, I miss all the time. Like, are they going to like ping a tuba or a bass drum or something?
I don't know. I don't know how they don't just have them sticking in the ceiling tiles and into the wall.
That's where all the pencils are.
Exactly.
I have a problem with this because what he says is he found out the archery class. It's not like they ask if the archery class, he found out the archery class was using the band hall. Like, how did he find out? Did he like holes in the wall, arrows in the ceiling?
Get shot in the butt one day? Like, what happened?
That's an awkward way to start your morning.
I'd say so.
I mean, that really is pretty fantastic. It is too unbelievable to believe.
I mean, the only thing above that would be like if they opened up the floor and there was a Olympic-sized swimming pool in the band hall.
That sounds nice.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
It doesn't. That's where all the spit goes. You
That's
open it up
right.
and you have...
You fill it. You don't even have to run water. to it.
just right into the pool. Yeah.
Okay, so we need a response. So what can we respond? Dear Relay, thank you for your 35 years of service. Wow. I have a follow-up question. Are these real arrows or arrows with bean bags on them? Or is that just something from cartoons? This is for a very important argument and only you can settle it. Thank you.
Here's Luke McMillan with some marching band advice.
Hey everybody, Luke McMillan here with Luke McMillan Music. Here's some marching band advice for you. If you have a total of 6 or 8 or less percussionists, I would recommend not marching a battery and parking them all as a front ensemble, either in the front of the field or maybe even better, behind the rest of the group. Maybe some percussion instruments, maybe some keyboard instruments. It just gives you a lot more of a palette to work with as opposed to so many students being chained to one instrument all the time. They can move back and forth, maybe move from keyboards to percussion. And it just gives you a lot more elegant and professional look and sound.
All right, we're going to give you our best tips for using a classroom set of tuners.
All right, so if you're using a classroom set of tuners, you're going to have microphones. Otherwise, the tuner is going to pick up everybody. Now, you could use a tuner and a microphone, but they also sell these microphones made to go on cell phones so that people could have an app with a tuner, and that would work pretty much just as well.
These are great for speeding up a tuning round in the band hall. I used to go and ask every single person to play their tuning note, and I would check every single one, push out or pull in. With these, they can be trained to tune themselves using their own personal tuner.
If you want your students to use the tuners but not adjust themselves, they can actually do what's called partner tuning, where they have a partner look at their tuner and tell them whether they're sharp or flat so that they don't automatically adjust subconsciously whenever they see the tuner.
Tuners are also great for working on those pesky bad tuning tendencies. Have your students look at their fingering chart and mark each note with a plus or minus depending on what their tuner says. And like Mr. Cox says, this can be done with a partner.
Another great exercise to do with tuners to help students train their ears is to actually set your drone to be playing sharp or flat, have all the students tune by ear to the drone, and then tell you how sharp or flat their tuner is telling them that they are. Make sure that your students know that their tuners can be calibrated. So if you tune to 440, all the students need to check each day to make sure that their tuner has not been changed to a different tuning standard.
Did you know that there's a triangle on the sharp and flat side of most tuners to show pure temperament adjustments?
So a great storage solution for your classroom set of tuners is to actually have the students wrap their tuner with the cable and then store them in calculator pockets. These can be numbered or unnumbered, but it keeps everything neat and put together.
These are not substitutions for these. They're a great diagnostic tool, but your students still have to train their ears. Thank you for watching, everybody.
We sure hope that what we shared with you today was useful, and it works for us, but it might not work for you. If you've got some great ideas, feel free to share them in the comments below.
And remember, get lots of rest.
Stay hydrated.
And don't forget to eat breakfast.